Lazy Donkey Films.
What you are about to see is real. There are no actors, no scripts, and no special effects.
We are Ghost Paranormal, a team of paranormal investigators from different walks of life. We have our own lives and our own families. We all have had our own personal experiences with the paranormal. We come together to find out what makes the doors open and close on their own. We come together to find out what makes a hair stand up in the back of your neck. We come together for one specific purpose: to hunt the unknown truth.
I think the team's going to be up over here somewhere that we have to meet.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, there they are. Hey guys, how's it going?
Hi.
Good.
How you doing, Richard? My name is Dwayne Patterson with Murray County Paranormal Investigations. This is my assistant, Terica, the co-founder of the group. We have Steve, our tech manager, and his wife Alice, our lead investigator. We have our new investigator, Lisa Frola, and we have our assistant tech guy, Brett Graham. And behind us here is Sherry Sexton. She is with the Praters Foundation. You give us access this evening.
Have you got enough people?
Oh, I know.
Okay.
And we're together, we're Murray County Paranormal Investigations. MCPI,
Okay.
as we're affectionately known.
All right, let me tell you who I got with me tonight.
Awesome.
Billy Joe,
Joe, pleasure.
lead investigator. Also plays the role of my wife.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
That's Walt, that's our audio video
Walt,
tech
pleasure
right
to meet you,
there.
Walt.
That's Mark, that's our psychic medium. And this is Cassie, one of our investigators. Thanks for inviting us out. This is a beautiful, beautiful place. Look forward to working with you guys tonight and seeing what's going on. I hear there's a lot of good stuff that happens here. So
We're hoping it'll play with us.
where do you want to start out at?
I think we're going to start out in the general store.
Okay.
Since we're already here, and we'll get going with that.
Sounds good. Well, let's hit it. All right, Alice. Well, I appreciate you letting us come in here. It's an interesting place. What's happening with you in here? What are your experiences?
Well, on Halloween night, we had a tour. We conducted a tour here. And there was, a fair amount of people here with us. There was a young girl, a teenager, and she started experiencing things where she would look up at the ceiling and she felt afraid. And then she started becoming nauseous and oppressed, like an oppression was coming over her. She was literally like crying. And it got to the point where she literally had to leave the room. And there was another investigator at that time. He was feeling oppression and something was bothering him as well. I believe he literally got sick outside. And he did get better after a while. Both of them went outside. The investigator was out walking around, and then the young girl. And it got to the point where she literally had to leave the ground. She couldn't stay. She was shaking, she was very upset, and she kept trying to look away from whatever it was. It really frightened her. And we had an EVP session in here, and whatever the entity was that was here pretty much said that they didn't really care for us to be here. They didn't want us.
Unwanted. Nice.
So she felt a little threatened, and that evidently must have been why. And several other people have felt that in here as well, and felt an impression.
Have you ever felt threatened or felt like you just need to get out of here because it's just that uncomfortable?
Slightly with me. I have felt a little bit like there's something here, but other people have felt like they needed to get out.
Thanks for everything. I appreciate it very much. It's a pleasure meeting you. Thanks for all the help. Hey, Sherry, how are you?
I'm fine, Richard, and how are you today?
Good, good. Yeah, we had a walkthrough earlier and talked to a couple of people. Why don't you tell me a little bit about the history of this place we're in right now? Where are we?
This is the general store, and this was here in the early 1855s on through. This is where the community came and bought all their goods. It was also the post office. It was just the all-around general mercantile store.
When was this place built, this store?
Shortly after 1855, I'm not sure exactly of the date as of right now, but it was around the same time as the mill was built, because this was an active community.
Well, thanks for the tour. I appreciate this. Where do we go next?
We're going to go to the mill, which was built in 1855.
Yeah, sounds great.
Let's go on over to the mill.
Okay. Billy Joe should be meeting us here in just a second. There she is. Hey, we're going to go over to the mill and take a look at it, get a little history on
Okay,
it.
sounds good.
All right.
And this is our mill.
Wow. It's
Wow.
gorgeous.
Yeah, it's quite a lot of history here in this place. It is a wooden turbine-driven mill. The grindstones are back here that was done. All of this was part of the mill. This ran the flour after it was ground up to going up to the sifters and bolters upstairs, and part of this also goes up to the third floor that was part of the mechanism to carry the flour and the cornmeal to where it needed to go.
So Sherry, what's that over there?
This is a sifter, one of the sifters that has before it goes on up to the next level to be sifted even more.
Okay, it looks like there was a fire in here. When did that happen?
The fire was in 1995. We had a couple of gentlemen built a fire out in the corner out here because it was cold. And from the amber glow of the fire, we had a couple of gentlemen that was up the creek, and they saw that and called the fire department and the police department, and that's what saved the mill.
Now, I read somewhere in the history that this building served both sides of the war. Is that true?
Yes, sir, it did. At one point, we had both sides that were here on the porch, and they come and got the cornmeal and stuff like that to feed their troops. And at one point, the community here could stand on the porch and hear the gunfire from over on Tunnel Hill. The federal road is only like a half a mile from here.
So how can anybody reach you guys at the mill?
Okay, you can reach us at our website, which is www.pratersmill.org, which is pratersmill.org, or you can call us at 706-694-MILL. And we love volunteers because this is how we've kept this buildings up and restored all this, is through our volunteer base and donations. And we have our country fair, which evolved from it in 1971, which the property was taken over then. And we built a country fair, which is going on 43 years now.
Wow.
And this is what supports what we do.
Sherry, thanks a lot for showing us
Well,
around.
you're
I
quite
appreciate
welcome. I'm glad to have you here, and you're welcome. And we hope you have a great investigation.
We're hoping
Yeah.
so,
we're
too.
hoping.
Yeah, I do too.
pretty
Thanks.
Yeah, all right, thank you.
Is that on?
And I hope you have a good investigation.
We will. We should be meeting Dwayne here any second.
Any second now, he should be coming up.
Thank
All
you.
right, good deal. Good night.
Good night. This place is incredible.
It
know?
is. It's pretty neat.
It's the history is unreal.
It's a good thing that guy came by with the guys who were clogging up here
Yeah.
without the fire.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Otherwise, they could have lost it all.
Here he is. How's it going, Dwayne?
Mr. Richard.
Hi.
Good to see you.
Pleasure.
Ready to show us what's going on in here?
I'm ready to.
Ready to
Either
hear
way,
about it.
Chief. Either way.
I'll explain that in a moment. But welcome.
So tell me what's going on in here a little bit. What stuff have you experienced?
Well, we give a tour here in October with our group. Usually there's people scattered all the way through the stairs, standing around, sitting here. One of the things that has popped up when we do our tours is people will be touched in the back. We'll have a shadow, apparition appear on the steps to some people, actually come walking down. We'll have people hear and feel things. And we also have something interesting that seems to occur, and has occurred at least on 3 different occasions. But for that, I'm going to let my co-founder, Terica, explain that in further detail.
Usually when people are sitting in this chair, usually young girls between the ages of 15 and 21, they will see a dark figure sitting at the top of the stairs. That makes them feel uncomfortable most of the times. And they start getting overwhelmed with emotions as they sit in this chair. And usually they have to leave the room.
Hey, thanks a lot. I appreciate it very much. Eric, it's a pleasure meeting you as well. It's going to be a great place. I think we're going to have a great time. Thanks for showing us around.
Happy hunting.
All right, let's get on out of here. Thanks for showing us around.
Happy hunting.
All right, let's get on out of here. Thanks for showing us around.
Happy hunting.
All right, let's get on out of here. Hey guys,
Hey,
you about ready to roll?
we are ready.
Everything set up? It seems like it's going to be an active night. Mark, what do you got on your remote viewing for us?
Well, what I did on the way over here is, and what remote viewing is, I mean for people who don't know, is before going to the site, I will draw out the buildings, draw out the energy spots, and go from there. And on this case, I drew the aquifer,
Okay.
and that's my line that I will line up when I get over to the building to show you where the energy spots are.
Okay.
And where the places to look for the spirit activity and where there's energy that just kicks off. And that's about it. It's going to show.
Did anybody order the air conditioning?
I did, but it hasn't showed up yet.
Man, they're fire. Well, it sounds like it's going to be a fun night by the looks of it, guys. Let's get to it. What do you think?
I'm excited, man. Let's go.
All right, let's do it.
So we're going to do the automatic writing session in here?
Yep.
All right, guys. We'll let you go ahead and do your automatic running session in here.
Okay.
And we're just going to step away and just do some investigating or something. Sterling, thanks for coming out. I know you had to work today, so I'm glad you're here for us. I think at this point we're going to go in here and get started with an EVP session. So let's go lights out. And then once we go lights out, Walter, if you want to go out and just taking some snapshot stills, see what we can pick up on that. Maybe we're going to do an EVP session here, okay?
Absolutely.
All right, let's go lights out.
Which one are you doing this in? I'm here with Mark, and we're going to be doing an automatic writing session. For those of you who don't know what that is, Mark will help explain.
It actually is a very old Victorian tool, but I will sit, kind of trance out, and begin to write anything I hear or anything I see. And it helps free up the mind a little bit while your hand is doing something else. Then it helps it make it a little bit more or easier to access some of the other energy that is here, the other information. So it will take me just a few minutes to get it going, and we'll go from there. And it's something that I don't look at what I'm writing. So later on, when we look at it, we can see, what was written or what it does, or the energy is sometimes affected by the magnetic energy of the place. So if it goes in a counterclockwise or clockwise manner, it will come up on the paper. So let me take my glasses off, and we'll see what we can do, and I'll see who I can connect with. And sometimes we can get names, sometimes we can get places or people that are here that can help us make stronger contact or get phenomena.
Then later we can go and look up those names and see
who they were.
Right, who they were and how they're related to the Praters mill.
Just kind of let myself relax here. Is there anyone here that wants to speak? Carolyn Hill will be basically your spirit guide for tonight. Now, Carolyn Hill is which is a positive energy. So. From 1846. There's another spirit here by the name of Harold. His last name begins with an L. Like a Lieberman. There's also someone with the last name of Nichols. I'm seeing spelled like Nichols like that, but it's really spelled Nicholl. L-E-L-L.
Do you know how he's related to the prayer room?
I think he was a foreman here at one time. Probably 1880s, 1890s. I don't know what Carolyn Hill was, but she's kind of, since we're here, she's part of watching over the restoration kind of thing. She's telling me for the phenomena, if you want to get that, there's the black hole over there, which is over near the corner. You'll get more activity out of it than the one that's back here.
Okay.
This one, it's a pre-building dugout for dumping, for doing. There's, where they dump scraps and excess meat.
Right.
And
So it was here
excess
before the
things.
building was.
Yeah. But it's a very dark energy, but a dark earthy energy, but not, it would come off as intense or negative, but it's really just earthy. Just, something you're not used to.
Right.
So, talking, Philip? Someone named Philip? We'll call him Big, but he was Bigelow. Work here. I think he died in an accident. Up the river just a little bit, up a little bit. About half a block. But he's here also. When the hole over here, when the activity begins and it goes up through the floors, then that activates, gives energy to a couple of little spirits here, but mostly you get like 3 to 4 spirits here.
The main ones.
The main ones. The woman at the top, I think, is some kind of relative to Carolyn. It's like a Margie or Margaret. Who?
You know what color hair she has?
I can't tell. There's a red color to her clothing, but her hair looks kind of like blondish, brownish.
How old do you think she is?
Late 20s, early 30s. People see and sense her toward the window. But she just kind of landed up there. I'm not quite sure why she's up there. But that's a good safe spot where she goes, and she just gets away from everybody else.
So she wants to be by herself?
Yes. I think that she had a trauma child loss, and it affected her mentality. But I still don't know exactly why she's here. But but she's here.
Okay.
She's another one, 1880s, 1890s.
That's, you're talking about
The one on top, on the
Margie?
top floor. They call her something weird, but it's like, but it's, I think it's Margie, Margaret, something, but she had a weird nickname.
I'm sorry, I keep seeing a shadow behind you. It's throwing me off a little bit.
Yeah. Well, it's spots over there, so. The darker energies that are here, and especially since we're investigating, you know, you may get a few darker shades, more discarnate shades, because we're here. They're ready for their prime time.
And they'll want to talk.
I don't know if I want to talk as much as be seen.
Oh.
So,
They
maybe
want
that'll
their
be
day
good.
in the light.
Yes. Looking. I think the Nichols thing, I think there's an Evan Nichols.
Evan
Nichols attached to the property.
Evan
Nichols. Just shortly we'll get to look at where, since the energy spots are doing pretty good,
Right.
Because we're still close to the veil being thin from belting, which was May 1st, so the veil is still a little thin until going towards October, so.
Right.
So by now we still have quite a bit of activity.
So it should be good.
Should be good. Should be able to catch some stuff. I'm going to ask that the spirits here be vocal, if at all possible.
Anybody else wanting to come forward?
There's some other people here that are coming because we're here, but they're really not developed yet to speak. They're not, it's not going to be their thing.
So it's the kind of thing you can sense them, but you can't.
Yeah, but you can sense them, maybe catch them. They'll be kind of more like shadow people. Carolyn Hill is more of like an operator, so you'll be able to ask her questions and see if you can get responses on film. Or the girl upstairs, the Marge or Margaret, or whatever they call her, you might be able to get some stuff from her visual. I don't know, she doesn't like to speak to people.
Oh, so she's more see me but don't
See
talk to
me, yeah, get out of my hair thing. The Herald is not as talkative, but I think Carolyn will be the one that you can ask and use her as the spokesperson for what's here. So let me see. She's saying that the reason that we want the spot over there that is very dark She keeps saying something about horse meat.
Horse meat?
Like scrubs and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah. So a lot of times when you get blood scrubs and stuff like that, that you get
Negative energy.
earthier energies that feed on that. They'll also feed on sewage. They'll also feed on anything that has minerals. The blood, of course, has iron, but it also has, you know, like I'm in a connection with, you know, it's blood. So it changes. Okay, so you have any questions?
I have, Harold, you said he's not talkative, and he worked here.
He worked here. He was
Did he
like
die here?
I think he was like a foreman.
So he didn't die here, he just worked here?
Yeah. I don't think he died here. The Bigelow did.
Bigelow did? And Bigelow was?
This guy who died just up above
How did he die?
here. I just see some kind of pipe injuries. Yeah, I mean, it's like he was hauling pipe or doing something, and something happened where he was traumatized.
Right.
He just remembers the water. So, but I seriously think if you just talk to Carolyn might be the one to get information for or from.
Right.
She seems to be more like a mother hen.
Do you know about when he died?
Bigelow?
Yeah.
1867? October? I think he was black.
Any more spirits?
There are other people here just that are just like the bugs. They're being attracted by the light and the life, you know.
Right.
But I think you can talk to the lady upstairs and see if you can get some activity, but I think she'll be more visual. I think the entry hole that's over in the corner, that will be where you get more physical evidence, if you get any evidence or stuff, because it's like almost like a well effect. Where we're sitting, there's something underneath this building. She was saying that it was lime.
It was what?
Limestone.
Limestone.
But it's usually when I sense from like remote viewing the way that the energy is like ripples and coming out, it's like there's an energy source that could be crystal or quartz or something that's holding a frequency.
Right.
And so what it does is it records a lot of the energy, and then later on when it triggers, then it's just like a replay. When it's working, then it's, from whatever reason, it vibrates, and then it kicks up dust and old images and old stuff, or if there's any spirits here, they can use that energy to manifest. But I don't think there's anything here that will hurt someone.
Right. Just this building or all of them?
There's, in the other building across the way, I felt a male energy in one end of it. But they don't seem frightening or anything. They're just kind of just here, like places, spirits of place. They feed off of the energy here because the vibration of the water is a continual energy source, and spirits, of course, need energy to function. Right. So somehow they found a way, or they're just naturally the vibrations that are here are producing food for them, basically. Right. That keeps them functioning. It's not as specific like purposes. They're just here, they function, they're kind of affected by the energy here, the frequencies here, and some of that frequency is recorded in the rocks that are underneath. And then the darker energy comes from the spots where there have been previous holes that were used for jumping or for getting rid of tissue, dead animals, scraps, anything like that.
Because of the blood and the minerals.
Because of the blood and the minerals. And I don't think it's from human tragedy. I think it's just, from
Horses,
stuff,
cattle.
from horses, cattle, stuff like that. But, and of course, but I keep hearing the word horse meat, so somebody was eating horses at some point.
It happens.
It happens. Deer meat and horse meat. And that could have been around the Civil War era when people were getting low on food and problems, and that was a time when a lot of people used. They had to eat their horses sometimes because
it became necessity.
It became a necessity. But that might be something we might be able to track down.
Right. So there's nothing per se on the property from before that this was the mill. It's just.
Well, whatever those were pre-mill building. It was the other mill was across the way, and then when she said this was built, then it was just built over whatever was here. So, so the spots are pre-building. So this is from 1855, so it would be pre that. Okay. But I think that's pretty much the information I'm getting.
Okay, so Carolyn is
Carolyn
the one to talk
Hill
to.
will be the one that you can ask questions to and see if she will react, or if she can control the course of conversation.
Who is over there?
Who's over here?
Yeah. Because there's definitely someone over there.
Near the entry hall. Well, the Carolyn character is more around here where we are. That is just a dark earthy spirit. I don't know. He doesn't even remember what his name is now. So
I only know that there's someone there because I keep covering up the light over there.
Yeah, but he's kind of beefy.
Right.
But he's a beefy person. But he's one of those darker spirits that just it's like a remnant. And so since everything's kicked up and being looked at, then he just is like, being drawn to the light that we're having here. So it would be more like what people would consider a shadow person. Because he doesn't have a whole lot of thought. But
So
he's
he doesn't
just
really
kind of
communicate or...
No,
he just kind of wanders
he's
around.
wandering around watching.
Okay.
Because that spot is activated. But the big spot, the big energy spot beneath where we're sitting on top of is setting off. And so it's doing.
The guy that's the big guy, he
Big
would
guy.
be enough to make your hand stand up. Hair stand up on your arms.
Yeah,
and-
because he's a colder energy. He's more earthy, cold, stays to the dark and the coolness. He would give you the creeps.
Right.
Because it would be like going down in an old dark cellar. That's kind of like what his life is. It's just, he lives in the darker, moist, more deeper levels around here. And because we're here, we're putting off thermal heat. We're putting off, of course, talking to spirits.
Right.
And, they're just coming because we're here and we've kicked it up.
I understand.
Okay, other
Alright.
questions?
I'm thinking.
I think when everyone starts to do their stuff, if you put some equipment over in the corner, or you put it, or maybe even up here, you'll get some information, I think the lady up on the very, very top floor, you might be able to get some of her stuff, but she's very, doesn't like to be bothered or communicated with.
She just kind of wants to be left alone.
Yeah, she's like a leftover personality. Sometimes the personality is separate than the soul. And she would be more like a residual shell. She's basically like a recording of that person's personality.
Right.
Not necessarily the soul. But it's enough of a thought form that she can think and do what she wants, but she's not like a full-fledged, ghost.
Okay.
She's more like a residual recording of some sort.
So she really has no thought process.
She does, but it's very minimal.
Okay. Are you talking about Margie now?
Yes, the one
Okay.
up on the top floor.
So we're not talking about Carolyn?
No. Carolyn is that like a house mother. She kind of keeps everything kind of controlled, and if you have something to ask, then ask
She's
her.
nice.
And she's the one that see if you can get any activity. Because I think if you have tools up here, you could probably get some activity. Over there, you can get some activity. To a lesser extent, back in the back corner from here, that's diagonal from where we're sitting.
Right.
So, but I think we can pretty well just wait and see how that is, because I think that's about it.
And of course, that's right here in the mill. That's not the other one.
No,
building.
yeah. That's just here in this area.
Okay.
Now, the other thing is a separate being, another person, so, or a couple people. But in this building, it's its own little bubble. So it has its own little things going on here that you might be able to get some of the phenomena on film or on recorded.
Okay. Do you think we can get anything else, or is that about it?
I think that's about it for right
All right.
now. They don't seem very talky.
Right.
So, but you're going to be able to see more shadowy than you will anything.
Right. Well, we're going to go, later on, we'll go back and we'll look at the names and like we always
Okay.
do and check on the history.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Well done.
That concludes the automatic writing.
All right, so we've got plasma periscope. That's a plasma periscope is a static filtering device that picks up static electricity, which is what the entities give out and put off. So what will happen is that they make contact with this device. It actually will go from blue, which you see here, to yellow, green, red being the hottest point. And at that point, you're making some pretty solid contact. Next to it is a K2 meter here, which registers electromagnetic fields. Same type of device, very sensitive. It goes from green to yellow to orange to red. Red being the hottest point there is as well. So hopefully we'll be able to catch something on these as well as, and hopefully catch something on audio. We've got a few names that we're going to call on tonight to try to see if we can raise some conversation. And we're going to try to see to do that. I'm going to put myself right here for a moment and start out with this. We're not here to hurt you. We're not here to shoo you away. We just want to talk. We want to hear your side of the story. We know this place has got a lot of history. We just want to experience that with you. We want to talk to you, which is its history. So I want to ask and see if Carolyn Hill is here with us tonight. Carolyn, if you're here, can you please come forward and talk to us? Carolyn, Mark has told us that you're here. He's given us your name. We mean you no harm whatsoever. I just heard a female say, yeah, right. Something about that don't sound right. Also, by the way, you'll see these wires in my ear. They're attached to a digital recorder. They're earbuds attached to a digital recorder. What we're doing is something called real time. EVP session, which means as everything's being recorded, I'm able to hear it live, real time. Sometimes it makes for some pretty interesting conversations and some pretty interesting reactions.
The sound is amplified
Yeah,
a lot.
to say the least. Harold Limberman, I'm asking you to come forward. Harold, I'd like to talk to you. We'd like to have a moment of your time. I got a male whisperer, can't make it out. Nancy, why don't you ask Carolyn some questions? Maybe she responded to a female.
Carolyn, can you come out here and talk to us? We just want to hear your side of the story, what happened to you in the past. Maybe you were someone that worked here. What have you done? Or why you're here still.
Carolyn, how did you die? Why are you still here? What was that? Something outside?
I sounded like
There's
somebody
cars
on the
driving
road.
by.
Traffic's still kind of high.
I would just like to say that it is blatantly cooler, like 2 feet behind me. I've noticed every time we've turned the lights off, it gets cool.
Do you
Right
think
back
maybe
in
it's
there.
from the water though?
It's not that far, it's like right,
I had cold chills on my back.
it's like, it's nice because it's so warm in here.
It's very warm in here.
You
But
want to
it's,
see if we can
it's
get
in
a,
this area, it's cool.
do you want to see if we can get a response on a K2?
Yeah. Let's see. So I can set it right on this register right here. And now it is not cool anymore.
Carolyn, if you're here, if you could walk over to the green light that's shining and touch it, it'll let us know that you're here by changing the light to different colors. Could you come over here and do that for us? I can feel the cooler
It's-
temperatures that you're
yeah.
talking about. It's because it's right here.
It's right here now, it moved.
We're not going to cause you any harm. We're not here to kick you out. We're just here to talk. To get to know more about you. Maybe there's something you want to say. Tell the world. This is your opportunity. This is your chance.
Someone just hear like a creak or
I don't know, but I heard a male voice.
something?
I heard a male voice, but I couldn't make it out. It was kind of mumbled. He was trying to say, it was like a whole sentence.
It's cool again.
Hopefully we'll be able to pick it up in an evidence review.
It's really nice. If that is anybody, thank you.
What was the other names, Rich?
The
Carolyn
names
and-
are Bill Bigelow.
Bigelow.
Bill Bigelow. Can you come and talk to us, sir?
I'm not feeling.
The challenge is that between the water that I can hear.
Yeah. Which can mess up audio.
Yeah, but the other thing is, the other stuff I'm hearing, which could be mistaken for water as a whisper, could be mistaken for water, isn't what I'm hearing. What I'm actually hearing is like, and I really hope this plays back, but it's almost like a male saying words I just can't make out.
So it's not the water matrix thing.
No, it's completely different. It's completely different sound level. It's distinct. It's. And again, I hope it comes down at evidence review. but it's definitely somebody trying to say something.
I just hear something upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard like foot shuffling upstairs. I heard like somebody shuffling a foot. That was pretty clear. And I just heard something again upstairs.
If you're upstairs, can you make a louder noise for us, please?
It's somebody shuffling something upstairs, is what it sounds like. Hear it?
Yep. Thank you.
There's
Is it an animal?
no, there is a sifting board that they used to use back in the day, a big sifting board upstairs. That's what it sounds like it's moving. Let's go check that out, because now it's gonna drive me nuts.
Yeah.
Let's go validate it or whatever. Yeah, grab that, grab the K2,
Oh,
let's
wait,
head upstairs.
here's my flashlight, because I'm not touching a bug. I don't know if they bite.
I'm sorry.
I'm just not doing it.
Just a question.
Yeah.
Bad weather is supposed to be moving in. Is it windy outside at all? That could be making the building creak.
I don't know, but that sounds like that sifting board is what it sounds like. Hold on, check that out. See this? That's what I thought it might have been.
That's rain.
That is rain. That's probably what we're hearing.
That's what we heard.
Well, at least we know.
Let's just go ahead and do an EVP session up here while we're here.
Well, at least now we know what that noise was.
Right? Margie? I know Mark said that isn't what you like to be called. Can you tell me what you like to be called? No, I just heard a female no. She just was pretty, that should be class A. Okay.
Maybe it's Margaret?
I just heard a don't something. But that was female too.
Okay.
Why don't you want us to know your name?
Margie, did you work here at the mill? Did you sift mill here? Was that your job? I've got a couple of devices on the board here that you can touch that'll register your presence.
And they won't hurt you.
No, they won't hurt you at all. But they're here to let us know that you are here, and we'd like to know that. So Margie, if you're here, and again, I'm sorry to call you Margie, I know that's not what you're called, but you can tell me what you want to be called. But if you're here, those two devices on the table or on a board here are not going to hurt you. They will not hurt you.
Well, did you just bump into something?
I think he stepped on a board or a board. So I heard that.
You're standing still?
Oh wow, it's really coming down.
Yeah, it is.
Maybe if you can knock on the wall, or even knock on this. Let us know you're here. Any takers? Or you can come over here and touch Sarah Lynn. She don't care.
Thanks for that.
You're welcome. That's how I roll. I feel like the energy was stronger in the store than it
Yeah.
is in here.
Yeah, the store is, the store for me was, when I did the walkthrough, was pretty definitive.
Well, there was this area over in the general store that I felt really heavy
There's
over the corner.
what I get is, what Mark got too, is there's a guy there who doesn't like you there. He doesn't want to be bothered by people.
I might be why.
Yeah, and he's kind of silent, doesn't like to talk, and I got a younger energy as well in there too. So I think what we're going to do is, because I'm not going to be able to capture any audio in here at all, I think what we're going to do is have you guys go over there and investigate the general store.
Okay.
What do you think?
Sounds good to me.
All right, let's get and wrap this up, and we'll move to the general store.
So we're in the general store now. I've been informed that there's a male spirit here who's sort of doesn't like us wanting to be in here. It's his place. We
He
shouldn't
doesn't
be
like
messing with
people
this.
taking pictures of his stuff.
And we've got Walt here taking pictures, so that should
Of his
go well.
stuff.
Of his stuff.
Of his stuff. I've got the K2 meter in my hand, and I'll find a good place to set that down shortly.
Now, earlier when we were walking through, it was that area over there where I felt the atmosphere was more heavy.
Okay.
So that's where I'm going to put down the E-probe and the plasma periscope. Now, earlier we did not introduce the E-probe. What it does is it picks up static, but if you touch it, it sets off an alarm. Which in one of the other locations that we did, there was a nice entity that messed with us the entire time.
And when we asked if it would stop, it said no.
It said no.
And kept making it go off to annoy us, so it was fun times.
Well, we were kind of male bashing.
Deservedly. But I've got the K2 sitting on this table right in front of us. Got two things set up over there. We should be set. Is the store owner here? Viewer manager?
If there's anyone in here at all, can you please come and make your presence known? Either say your name loudly for us so we know who we're talking to, or tap on something. Don't knock anything over though, because we don't want to get blamed for it. There is a lot of outside interference with the traffic. Just want to make that known for later on while going through EVPs. I don't feel the same energy in here as we did earlier today. But I was standing right here, and I was just taking pictures with my phone of all the different antiques, and then all of a sudden there was this overwhelming feeling of kind of like pressure. But the atmosphere kind of thickened, like you can cut a knife through it.
So I've heard somebody associated with the name of Brown is here. I'm going to assume that's a last name. I could be totally wrong.
Never met a person with the first name Brown. But on the other hand, there's people called Apple, so.
Well, if you are here just sort of observing in a corner somewhere, I'd like to say you got a pretty cool store.
I love the stuff in here. I'm going to try to move this over here. Why don't you just switch spots? So you go over that way and see if you feel anything. No? You spider scared?
No, I just hate that feeling that there's a bug crawling on you and you don't know where or what.
There is anybody. You guys just hear that?
No.
Sound like a voice, but
Was that you?
That was you. Can you say something again?
There's some thunder.
And see, normally during a thunderstorm there'll be more activity because that air is ionized, and that the spirits can actually draw off of it. So here's for hoping that they take good use of that energy.
Not even a hit on Q2 or nothing.
Not on the K2, not on the E-probe, not on the plasma periscope. thing, and all they have to do is come over here and go like this, and it sets it off. So now, do you want to move over to...
I want to leave the E-probe in here by itself.
Alright, we are going to move over into the next room. And I'm going to go do an EVP session over there. We're going to leave the E-probe over here. And hopefully something will set it off and we can come back and look for it. We're going to start with the EVP session. Sarah Lynn, if you want to take the lead on this.
If there's anybody in here, maybe you'd like to introduce yourself, tell us your name. You can sit down and have a chat.
Now, if you weren't hanging out with us in the general store earlier, we have these two different objects over here. If you touch them or go near them, or even if you decide to sit down in the seat, it'll set them off and it will turn it to different colors. It'd be really cool if you would do that for us. I'm not really getting any EVPs or...
I say, why beat a dead horse? I think we're done.
There's really not much going on in here. But I'm hoping that later on when Richard goes through the audio, that he might have caught something, at least audio-wise. Because earlier when we were, over in the gym?
No, the mill.
No. He caught some voices over there and you could definitely hear something, so I'm hoping we have something to show the client.
And cut.
I guess this ends our EVP section over in what I will call the stove room.
I'm not touching him, but I don't want him to get stomped on. He's glowing. Get it, George.
Let them know that we are completed in here.
Well, we've had a pretty eventful night. Met some really great people here at Praters Mill. I want to thank Sherry for her time and walking us through it and allowing us to come here. I want to thank MCPI for allowing us here and being a host to us, a gracious host to us as well. They got some great people on their team. One thing I want to talk to you about is this building here. If you ever get a chance to come by and take a tour, I'd highly recommend it. It's a great place with a lot of history. If they ever have the privilege of allowing anyone to investigate it, highly recommend it. Don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. Got to work at details, but if you get a chance to come here, just do a regular tour during the day. Take a chance to check out history. Okay, they've got a website. It's www.pratersmill.org. Okay, go on the website. You want to help them out, throw them a few bucks on the donation. That'd be great as well, because this is all being handled and managed by donations. It's not getting government money like some places I know of that people go to that are haunted. This is being handled by the public for donations. So I ask you again, www.pratersmill.org. Go check it out. Come on by for a tour as well during the daytime. It's got some really cool history to it as well. Again, we want to thank everybody here tonight. We thank you for watching. Thanks.